Welcome everyone to the 2015 Keith Blue Truscott Best and Fairest Award. And tonight we celebrate the year that was. The importance of the journey that we continue on and the achievement that we together, you, the club, across all departments and the board achieved on and off the field throughout the year. Last week we saw our team have a great win with passion and guts to finish off the season over the Giants at Etihad. We finished our season on a high as we started, and importantly we saw great signs of things to come. We witnessed this in other games during the year, and the atmosphere at Etihad and all of our wins has just been fantastic. The passion of the red and blue has been there through the whole season, and here again tonight with, as Clint mentioned, over 900 in the room tonight. Thank you everyone. Thanks for your support. Every year, every one of you right behind the club, we really appreciate the support. At the outset, I wanted to say that the support we get is fantastic from all of our fans, partners, coterie groups, stakeholders, such as the MCC and the AFL, the Demon Army, volunteers, and the football staff, and of course the players who put their body on the line week in, week out. And for all of you that have stuck with us, yes, there are times when there have been some frustrating moments this year, but that's because we're clearly on the right path. And we can see how we've come a long way in terms of the development on and off the field. I think at times we've seen the window into the future, which is very exciting, and at times in a step backwards. But we've always said it'd be a bumpy road, not a straight line to success. With that development, improvement, passion comes scrutiny and opinions and of course some noise. But we're focused on what we're doing right and where we're heading in 2016 and beyond. And even with some of the noise, the conversation's changed this year where it's shifted to talking about our footy team, the great effort, the great contest and the many, many games we've been in. I also want to say that on behalf of myself as chairman, on behalf of the board, the people that work across the entire club, the players, we appreciate all of the support we get from you. So much has been done right within the club, at the coaching level, the playing level, on and off the field, that the results and the consistency will come. We can see how far we've come and finishing the season not only with 7 wins, but a number of wins against strong teams, a number of games we've been in right to the end, a NAB Rising Star, and also finishing, taking steps, and we started that journey up the ladder, finishing 13th. Now there's some specific welcomes that I'd like to make tonight, just very briefly if I can. I'd like to welcome our principal partner, AHG, Bronte House and the whole team are just terrific supporters of this club. If you're in the market for a car or a service, get hold of AHG. Welcome to all of our major partners represented tonight. Adam Zhang from China Southern Airlines, Gabby Montenegzi from UH Caravans, and Hayley Robbins from Hames Paints. And our other major partners, IG, Tourism NT and New Balance. Of course, all of the official partners in the room that are listed on the back of your programs, a huge thank you from the club and all of the players for your support. I'd also like to welcome MCC guests tonight, particularly President Stephen Smith, the winner of the club's Best and Fairest Award back in 1981. Welcome Stephen and Angela. I think even we had colour TV back in 81. It's a fair while ago. And also our committee members, Vice President Stephen Spargo and Jill, Vice President David Crow and Fred Oldfield and Martine. Thanks so much for all of your support. Thanks Stephen, the whole team at the MCC for the support of our club. And of course we welcome all of the past winners of the Keith Bluey Truscott Award in the room. There's some red and blue royalty here with premiership players Noel McMahon, Ron Barassi, just the 6 premierships at Melbourne, Frank Davis, Brian Dixon, 5 flags of course, and Hessa Mann. Now I'm not sure we had colour TV back then, but it's great to have you here tonight and to welcome all of the past players in the room, part of the fabric of the club. Thanks very much for attending. On a serious note, welcome to Pam and Wayne Broadbridge, with us tonight to present the Troy Broadbridge Award for the best Melbourne listed player in the VFL. Thank you. One of the very prestigious awards tonight. Welcome to all of our foundation heroes, our inner sanctum First 18 members, player sponsors, members of coterie, and all of our supporter groups. Our foundation heroes group continue to be the most generous supporter group in AFL history. This year we're pleased to induct 18 foundation heroes to the legend category for their particular and generosity to our club. I'm pleased to welcome Legend Foundation heroes tonight, my fellow board members, David Shurin, Jeff Freeman and John Trotter, with former director Peter Spargo, Jeff Paws, Peter Lawrence and Peter McGrath. Welcome to you all and to all of the foundation heroes, and thank you so much for your generosity. Yeah. And to the passionate Demon supporters here tonight, I have to start with the Demon Army. We know where you are. A couple of years ago, Ryan and Sophie and Suzanne set about reinvigorating our cheer squad and turning it into a Demon Army. And they've just done outstanding work in making the Demon Army what it is today. The Demon Army provides such terrific spirit and atmosphere at all of our games, wherever they are, and contributes so much to our club. Thank you to each and every one of you. And whilst the Demon Army are an important volunteer group, they're just one of our volunteer groups we rely on. Thank you to all of our volunteers who have helped us in so many ways to make the club great. From assistance at clinics, selling memberships, phoning unrenewed members, packing show bags, making sandwiches, supporting the playing group, manning the change room door on match days. The volunteers make a significant contribution to our club both on and off the field, and that is valued by all of us. I'd also like to thank another group of volunteers, my fellow directors, for their support and commitment in 2015. We've welcomed 4 new directors since last year: Steve Morris, Mohan Jessudason, David Robb and Jane Martino. These four appointments have rounded out a very talented group of people, but I'd also like to thank all of the whole group for their commitment, passion, dedication to the club. And also welcome all former directors here tonight. I mentioned Peter Spargo. It's great, always great to have you and Kate with us. Also Bill Guest and Michael Coghlan. And Bill Guest, for his effort this year with the MND supporting Neil Danaher and on Queen's birthday was just a fantastic day. I'm almost done, but when we reflect on the year, I just wanted to reflect on a couple of great moments. And there were many: beating Richmond in round 4 at our home on Anzac Eve on a Friday night. Travelling to Geelong and beating Geelong, breaking a long drought down at Geelong. I think the many players that debuted through the year and finally winning at Etihad. And I'm sure like all of you, there have been times when there's been frustrations during the year. We'll learn and we'll get better next year and the year after. Later in the night you'll hear from Peter Jackson and Paul Roos, who will detail the progress the club is making. We also had some great events: Anzac Eve, the Pink Lady match, and of course wonderful Big Freeze at the G supporting Neil Danaher. The coach of our women's team coached 2 wins with 2 women's games, and she did a terrific job, Michelle Cowan, leading our team to victory in both games. And our female players got to showcase their talent in the first ever free-to-air broadcast on Channel 7. In that spirit, I'm pleased to announce that we tonight, for the first time in the club's history, will present the Best Female Player Award for 2015. Our club has every intention to continue with a women's team, and we look forward to the exciting future of women's footy at the Melbourne Football Club. On that note, I'd also like to thank all of our players who have represented the club with pride from both teams during the year. As with every year, though, we will farewell some players, and we thank those players for everything they've done for the club, and we wish them all the very best for their futures. In particular, Mark Jamar has been an outstanding servant of our football club. And Daniel Cross retires after a magnificent career. A player who put his body on the line right to the very end and has made a real impact on our football club. And we'll certainly farewell and acknowledge them later in the evening. The club's in a strong position. Our coaching staff's first class, with Paul Roos working tirelessly to develop our players with the other coaches. Simon Goodwin continues his apprenticeship and is supported by the likes of Josh Marnie, Brendan McCartney and a team of assistant coaches. Simon's well placed to take the reins at the end of next year. I've got no doubt will bring his own style and leadership to the role. We have an experienced list management team, and you've just got to look at the efforts of Josh Marnie, Todd Viney, Jason Taylor and Tim Lamb, and who they've brought into the club. Jesse Hogan, Angus Brayshaw, Aaron Vandenberg, and then you look at Mitchell White last Sunday, adding Garlett, Lumumba, Frost and Newton, who joined our club for 2015. I want to acknowledge all of the work the footy department's done. On the commercial side, the work that Peter Jackson, the commercial team, have done an outstanding job this year. All of the staff, I know it's a privileged position, but all of our staff at the club, footy's a way of life, the self-sacrifice of weekends, family time regularly being sacrificed, and all of our staff are here tonight with their partners who probably haven't seen much of them. Please join me in thanking all of our staff for the fantastic effort throughout the year. And finally, I had the pleasure of sitting with Jesse Hogan and Angus Brayshaw and their families and our wonderful group of coaches and leaders, and it was a privilege. Well done, Jesse, outstanding on winning the award, but also Angus in finishing the top 5. Says much. The Rising Star Award's the beginning, but it's a significant achievement, and it says much about our future talent that's been brought to the club and the development work being done by the players, all of the coaches, the whole footy department. And finally, I think it's a great sign that tonight there's 5 or 6 names that come to mind as possible winners. I think the young guys I've mentioned will poll well. Some of the old guys will poll really well too. And Chairman doesn't have favourites, but I hope our 3-time champion and Captain Courageous polls a few votes as well tonight, and we all have a great evening. Stick with us, have a great night, and all the best. Thanks very much.